Hey, y'all, when it comes to the AC business, trust goes a long way, and that's why I recommend Cool Kings Heating and Air. The good folks at Cool Kings are licensed and experienced technicians that provide the top-notch service that you deserve throughout Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas. They offer everything from emergency AC repair to complete AC replacements and maintenance plans tailored to keep your system running all year round. And right now, you can get financing on a brand new heating and cooling system totally interest-free. That's 0% interest on a brand new system. Give them a call at 225-681-2665 for more information, or visit them on the web at coolkingsheatingandair.com. Cool Kings Heating and Air is a verified partner of Local Leaders, the podcast. Hey, everyone, and welcome back to Local Leaders, the podcast. And I have a guest sitting across from me that actually has, I would call it a fairly new business. It is taking shape in Livingston Parish, and it is directly centered around Livingston Parish. So I'm going to have her introduce myself. We're going to talk about her business, talk about the great things that they're doing, and what they foresee in the future. So introduce yourself.
My name is Lizzie Baudoin, but everybody calls me Lizzie, and I am the co-owner of Living in Parish Magazine.
And who do you co-own that with?
I co-own it with my mom, but we have two completely different aspects that we cover with it. So it's like a perfect pair. You wouldn't think working with your mom is a good dynamic. It sure is for us.
A little bit of yin and a little bit of yang never hurt in business, that's for sure. And you need somebody that has a different perspective on things, and usually that's the spark that lights the fire, as they say. So you have a business. First of all, when did you really start focusing on this business?
So my mom has had this vision for this magazine for about 10 years, but she never had like the creative aspect for it. She just knew business-wise that she wanted to do this because there was a gap in the industry here. And this was way before I was even in high school. And I don't know, I got home from college and I started working with her in the industry at the newspaper in Point Capee.
Yeah.
And she was like, holy cow, you are selling amazing. Your articles are amazing. I have had more positives in the past 3 months since I've hired you on your writing. And I knew that I was getting that response because people were emailing me like, wow, this your writing is so refreshing for this industry. Point Capee really needed something like this. And so mom was like, well, look, I've been wanting to do this magazine for God knows how long. I think that you and I would work perfectly together on it. Like you said, yin and yang.
Right.
She does all the business aspects, the layout, the graphics. She does it all organically by herself, and I do all the writing, photography, creative, marketing, and advertising. And we just, one day in November, she was like, are you ready to launch January 1st? And I think I had plans. She told it to me on a Friday, and I had plans to go to the the Renaissance Festival.
Yeah.
It was around that time, and I was like, okay, well, I go to the Renaissance Festival in the morning. I said, when I get back, can you have a logo made? I'm going to go ahead and make a Facebook for it. And by the time I got back, she had the logo made, and I was like, perfect. We decided on some colors, and it just skyrocketed from there. We got an immediate response on Facebook from it.
Off you went. Mm-hmm. Now, tell me, incidentally, the name of this magazine is Living in Parish, which is pretty good.
So it started with, I honestly, I looked up on ChatGPT. I was like, give me 50. This is what I want to do. Give me 50 examples of a good name. And honestly, none of them stuck. I think the only good one that I really liked was called Down the Road.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know. Mom said that was too bumpkin. She wanted to call it Next Gen. And I was like, in Livingston Parish, you can't have anything that sounds too modern, right? It needs to be community focused, and Next Gen does not sound community focused.
Right.
So I suggested Down the Road, and she was like, I don't like that. That sounds too bumpkin. And I was like, okay. I thought about it for a little bit, and I was like, Livingston Parish. And I was thinking about other examples of magazine names nationally. Mm-hmm. And I don't know, Living in Parish just like stuck with me. I didn't even, ChatGPT did not spit that out to me. I was just like, no, I think that's what we need to name it. And I told it to her, and she was like, yeah. She was like, that's
I like
a good
that
mix.
name. Mm-hmm.
And it's just enough to confuse people, but they kind of understand once I start talking to them about it. They're like, oh, it's not Livingston Parish Magazine. It's Living in Parish. I was like, yeah, it's a play on words.
Yeah, I like it. It's definitely a good play on words, and it stood out from the beginning. And I think it kind of speaks to what the magazine is before you ever open the magazine, which I feel like is very important. You mentioned that, you were still in high school when this was kind of, and maybe even before that, when this was surfacing and swirling around in your mother's mind. Mm-hmm. But, you're not an old person sitting across from me. Now, I'm used to sitting across from 40, 50, 60 years old. Mm-hmm. And you're a little bit younger than that. So I would say it's not many young people that are establishing businesses at your age. I think that might be fair. Mm-hmm. There's a few out there, but the majority your age, I know when I was your age, establishing a business was at about the bottom of my list. Mm-hmm. So what do you attribute that to?
Well, first of all, I attribute my writing to my creatives all the way from elementary school to high school. I was always writing. You can ask any of my teachers. I always favored my English teacher. I actually got a 36 on my English ACT. Yeah. I aced every essay from my first LEAP test on, and I don't know. There was just always that creative aspect to my writing, and I guess it's because of my family history, which I'm sure we'll get to later. Yeah. But what attributed the business to my mindset is, I really have to say it's because of ROTC in high school. It really drilled that the 14 leadership traits of the Marine Corps into me. And I could say in my 4 years of ROTC at Denham Springs High School, I definitely developed more leadership traits in those 4 years than ever. And it helped me through college. And now just every aspect of my life, I take those 14 traits with me. And obviously, at first, I thought that was going to be specifically for the Marine Corps, but life did not take me that way in college. And I really found my calling in doing this instead, marketing, business, and English.
Yeah. And, of course, Colonel Bias is was the leader of that program. I'm sure when you were there, he's gone now, but my son was in that program as well. And a phenomenal program was ROTC, and still is at Denham Springs High School. Probably one of the best programs that I've seen initiated at Denham Springs High. And that was a big deal when it first came around. Congressman Garrett Graves is who kind of pushed that through, and it was a great thing for this community when needed, I feel like, at that time. So, and you mentioned, obviously, you went to Denham Springs High School, but you did mention your history a little bit, your family history.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about that.
So my great-grandfather bought the Livingston Parish News in 1964. Mm-hmm. And he passed away in 77. My grandfather took it over Jeff David in 77. And my mom worked there and managed it for about 20 years. And when he passed away in 2015, that is when we kind of migrated to New Roads and doing the newspaper there. Of course, now the Livingston Parish News is owned by my uncle McHugh, and we still have a great relationship with them.
Yeah.
And so it's just I take that experience from that and being raised in that environment. I was there every day when I was in middle school, and I went to DSJH. My grandfather he actually went to a city council meeting and was trying to make sidewalks built so that I could walk from DSJH to the newspaper. And he was like, I don't care if they have what's that road, Hatchell?
Yeah.
He was like, I don't care if they extend the sidewalks past the newspaper. I just need to make sure that they're from DSJH to the Livingston Parish News building.
There you go.
It's like in my head, I could close my eyes and still hear the back press running and the sound that the door made when you'd push it open, when you'd open it. And I remember walking out and the time would change and we'd leave the building at 5 o'clock and I'd look up and say, it's dark outside at 5 o'clock. And it's just you have different things engraved in your head from your childhood, and I definitely attribute a lot of this industry's success to me being raised in that environment.
Yeah, it was in the blood. It sounds like a lot of history there. Now, getting back to your magazine, so this became a thought, then it became an action, and then you built the Facebook page. You started kind of promoting it out there. What were some of the early on challenges that you had that maybe, I'm sure you saw some coming, and like all business owners, some of them we never see coming until they're like staring at us?
Well, at first we had a goal of we're going to launch our website January 1st, and then we are going to launch print the following January. And we obviously exceeded that goal now, but we had a couple of technical difficulties with our website. It took about another month to get up going, which it hurt me a lot because a lot of people were expecting that website announcement January 1st, and I built up to it for a while, and it just didn't happen.
Yeah.
And so it was kind of complicated for me. Like I said, it took another month for it to get up, and that was not because of I was just technical difficulties that we didn't foresee.
Right.
But because of the response that we've received in the past, how many months have we been doing this? Like 5 months, 4 months. We are able to print starting in April. We kind of set that goal in January. Once we had the website kind of idea flowing in everybody's brains, and we were like, no, we just need to do the print. We need to have a physical. And it brought a whole other aspect to the business perspective, knowing that we would have a physical and we'd literally be able to physically represent the community versus just an online presence.
Yeah.
We do have a large online presence, but I would love for that to reflect in our print as well, just because I know I'm not the only person that appreciates a physical in your hand copy of positivity.
I'm the same way. I would much rather have something to hold and read than a lot of times you'll find articles on the internet and you'll see a headline, but maybe it's your phone, and you don't have the best eyes anymore like yours truly, and you don't want to sit there and have to strain your eyes to read that thing. And nothing like having a physical copy in front of you, and then you can pick it up and read it whenever you want and whenever you have time. Really is the aspect there. So you worked through those challenges, though. Obviously, you got your website up and running, and we want to talk about your magazine in particular. What can you expect when you open up a copy of Living in Parish?
So we have been working with a lot of other contributors. It's not just my mom and I. Of course, we're the brains behind everything, but I can't think of my success without thinking about my contributors. We're going to have a recipe from He-Mel's Cajun Kitchen every single month relating to the theme of the issue. So this upcoming month in April, the issue is themed mud bugs and magnolias. And so he's going to have a really good etouffee recipe. As soon as, I'm not going to say as soon as you open the magazine, there's going to be a few contributors pages first. And then when we get to the content in there, it's going to be a recipe. I've been working with Terry Taylor, who is another big content creator, specifically in Livingston Parish, and he's going to be doing my food reviews for me. So it's going to be less of a review, more of like a an offering. Like, this is what this restaurant that's local has to offer, and this is what we tried and what we recommend from that.
Yeah.
It's not going to be like a rant or a rave. Obviously, it's going to be a rave, but
Right.
it's not going to. It's just going to be.
It won't be a critique.
Right, exactly.
Gotcha.
Exactly. And then we have a couple of other contributors. Faces of the Parish is just business features based on the business owners themselves. And then we are going to have like an art section, a classroom section, pet section, events. Because our schedule doesn't launch on the first of the month with our event, it's not going to be a calendar. It's more just going to be a showcase of what to expect coming up.
Yeah.
Trying to think of what else. We're going to have a lot of columns in there from other local business owners that would want to put anything out there just to get another form of visibility in there.
Right.
And nonprofits as well. I have a nonprofit section just for like events that they have going on that are fundraising or different resources that they have throughout the community to be able to help people around the community.
Very good. And so it's going to be different in the effect of it won't be your traditional news where you've got,
Right.
these crimes took place or, there's a place for that. And that's not what your magazine is going to be more centered around. It sounds to me like life inside of Livingston Parish and just the arts and culture of the parish and things of that nature. Would that be accurate?
Yes. Living in Parish. What
Living
to
in
expect
Parish.
living here.
That's it. So you talked about features in the magazine, and in this magazine, incidentally, we do want to mention there's no cost to it. It'll be available in various locations. Do you have any locations in mind yet that people can expect to pick it up when it is available?
Yes, I have a list on my phone, but my phone is not in front of me.
Various places.
Yes, various places. I can name a few now.
Yeah.
Frogs Market. We really just wanted to distribute all throughout the parish.
Yeah.
So not only could you expect to see us on tables at markets that you wouldn't expect that our contributors would be at, but you can also expect us from Springfield to Denham. In fact,
Okay.
we're printing in Hammond. That way we can distribute south, and instead of it being Denham centered, because I understand Denham is a bubble to
Yeah.
everybody that lives in it. We wanted to distribute coming north, I guess. We're north. And that way there's no skipping out throughout the parish. And we have a pretty even distribution all throughout the entire parish, even like Maurepas, Albany, French Settlement,
Yeah.
Port Vincent. And so we have a lot of very positive response. You can expect to pick it up at, like I said, Frogs, French
Big
Settlement,
Mike's.
Big Mike's, French Settlement Roasting Co.'s new cafe, More to Love, Wildcat Nutrition, and that's just to name a few.
Yeah. And so it sounds like you're going to hit all corners of the parish, really. So whether you live in French Settlement or you live right here in the heart of Denham Springs, you'll be able to access the magazine. And that's important. Now, because it's free, obviously printing it, managing a website, having a website built, none of that is free.
Right.
And so there's a cost there. And how are these costs paid for?
So it's paid for completely by advertising. I've had a lot of response from smaller business owners that sure will have their day in my magazine one way or another, saying that my prices are a little too high. And it's because we have to account the printing costs. We don't skip out on quality whatsoever. That magazine will not feel free to pick up. It'll feel like you have to pay $10 to pick it up, and it's not. We want for it to be a resource to the community.
Sure.
So our advertising prices that completely pays for it by itself.
Yeah.
And we haven't really had that much pushback. And like I said, even the smallest businesses will have their day in it. We have a couple of new ideas that are going to be coming out to be able to help those smaller guys that can't really afford to pay for a full page in the magazine. And we completely understand that.
Sure.
But like I said, it's going to be completely paid for by advertising. And like I said, we don't skimp out on quality or anything like that. It's going to be on soft touch paper. There's not going to be any staples in it. It's going to be bound with a spine.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's going to be
nice.
really good quality. And I just wanted to make sure that our advertisers that are paying however much they're paying for our advertising, that they feel like it's worth it.
Yeah, that they're getting what they're paying for as far as, and they see where that money's going, which is an important thing for an advertiser in addition to their ROI. So, what would you say your favorite aspect of doing what you're doing is?
Definitely going out and speaking to other business owners. It's something that at first I was very nervous about. But I have appreciated it and appreciated the response that I'm getting just from them, not just from the community, about how much we've needed this. Because the magazine isn't just business-centered like other magazines are, and it's not just community-centered like other magazines are. It's an aspect of both. You can expect for business owners to pick it up to be reading their articles about their businesses, but you can also expect people to be picking it up to learn about the events around the local community or what kind of resources they have around the parish. So we have a wide demographic. And we're expected to print 10,000 copies starting in April monthly. So we can attest to being able to reach all of those demographics as well.
Yeah.
Just with the sheer amount that we are going to be printing even starting out. And so, like I said, the biggest thing that I appreciate now since I've started doing this is being able to speak to other business owners that completely understand where I'm coming from and why I started this.
Sure. And, it's important to keep in mind, look, Livingston Parish is not what it was 10 years ago, 15 years ago, even 30 years ago. It is the fastest growing parish in the state of Louisiana. It's a massive parish relative to its size, and it used to be primarily rural, but that is slowly but surely not occurring anymore. I mean, you are getting a lot of people moving into this parish. It seems like there's no end in sight. And I know some people don't like that, and they want to stay out in those rural areas and don't want neighbors. And the older I get, the more I get it, believe me. But it's coming, folks, and you have to have I couldn't think of a better time to have a magazine out that focuses on the culture of the people here, everything from the food to the arts to the downtown. Look, we've got a downtown historic district here that is a beautiful part of our parish in the city of Denham Springs, and it deserves as much promotion as it can possibly get. Mm-hmm. We have all kinds of other little nuggets in this parish that not many people are familiar with unless you spend a lot of time driving around the parish or you've been here your entire life. So anything that features that, to me, is a good thing and a positive thing for the parish. So I commend you for that, for sure. If someone is interested in, hey, I would love to have 100 copies of the magazine or something placed at my business, would they just email you on your website, or how would that go about?
Yep, you could just go ahead and email me. My email is public. My cell phone number is public. You can give me a call, and I will put you on my distribution list, and it will be no problem for anybody to just carry however many copies they'd like in their business.
Yeah, very good. And you actually have a launch party coming up pretty soon. Tell me about that.
So we are having our launch party at the Aspen Room next to Big Mike's on April 16th, starting at 4 p.m., but it's going to kind of be like a come-as-you-are event. We're looking from 4 to 7 o'clock because it's during the week. So
sure.
We want as many business owners to be able to come as possible. We are going to be doing a ribbon cutting there, but that's not going to be the main aspect of the event. We're going to be doing a cover reveal for our April edition, so I'm going to try my hardest to keep it a secret until then. I'm speaking with a lot of business owners about partnering, and I'm like, do you want to see the cover? It's getting hard for me to keep a secret, but
sure.
I'm going to try and keep it a secret until the party, and we're going to do a huge reveal just of the cover, and we're going to have however many copies I can bring in there at once for everybody to read. And the point of it is that it's going to be the day before our distribution. So it's going to be a place for our contributors, for business owners alike, or anybody that would want to come and hear about the magazine, to be able to be there and read it before anybody else gets to. We are also going to be doing a silent auction, and I just wanted to have another aspect of this event for smaller business owners. Like I said, they will have their day here for them to donate goods to be able to be presented in front of these bigger people that will be at this launch party, and get their name more out there. All of the proceeds from that silent auction are going to be donated to Launch Therapy, because it's a launch party.
Right. Look at you with them play on words twice in one podcast.
Right.
Very good. And give me that date again for people that may have missed
It's going to be on April 16th at 4 p.m. at the Aspen.
Starting at 4, but you can show up as you get off work or whatever, or as you're headed home.
Yep. We're going to have a photo booth. We're going to have huge balloon displays. We have a lot of small businesses that are just itching to get a little, get a piece of their business out there at this party.
Very good.
So if anybody would want to donate anything to the silent auction, I don't have a minimum price, but all of the proceeds are going to be donated to Launch, and we are still accepting donations for that. We are also looking for any vendors, like event vendors, that would want to be included, just to reach out to me.
Sure.
I do anything to be able to support any kind of local business.
Sure.
So
very good. Any final thoughts? Anything you want to mention?
I guess.
Look for that magazine to come out soon.
Yes. Livingston Parish is the 9th biggest parish out of 64. So when you think about the demographics of that, and just how much these businesses, I mean, our parish is made of 1,000,001 small businesses, and whatever I can do to be able to support them over a franchise, I'm going to do it. And that's kind of the whole focal point of this magazine, is just to really keep economics here, keep everything local, and give a grounding to the community of everything local.
It's very important. And, a long time ago, I had a dream that one day this parish would be less of a bedroom community and more of a destination. And I think forever we have been a bedroom community. Everybody leaves Livingston Parish to go to work, right? And so even in what I do, one of my goals with that was to feature how many great things we have here in the way of business and business owners, and the hustle that exists in this community. It's something I spotted many, many years ago. And so this is just another additional business that's coming into the parish that's been here, that is going to feature this parish. You said it, 9th largest parish in the state. And a lot of people would be shocked to realize that. The fastest growing parish in the state relative to the amount of people coming in. A lot of people would be surprised to learn that. So we're not the world's best kept secret any longer. People are figuring it out. I went to a brand new business, a chicken joint, on Jubin Road just last week. And I mean, the line was out the door and around the building, and they had an Olympic champion wrestler there that I was very familiar with, and a former UFC fighter. And who would have thought you would have saw that in Livingston Parish 5 years ago?
So at the Dave's Hot Chicken opening, and I am going to add this, I was actually the first customer that day. My food was free because of it, and I got a hat signed by Triple C.
Yeah.
I'm so excited. My boyfriend's very excited about that.
Did you meet the schmo?
Yes, I met the schmo.
I dig that dude's style.
Hand. Yes.
Yeah.
I know. He was wearing some fancy shoes, and
I was
and
a belt buckle.
Yes, I was standing with my friend who works at 5 Star Printing, Jenna. She does their marketing, and we've known each other our entire lives. And she was like, "He's wearing Balenciagas. I've never seen that here."
Yeah, he's a heavy influencer in the world of mixed martial arts, and always around those events. I've been familiar with him for a little while, but when I walked up to him, I said, "You're the schmo," and he said, "And you're the bro." I said, you're right about that.
Oh, yeah.
I am the bro.
I try and go to as many ribbon cuttings as I can, and I try and write about all of them. I just really want to center as much of this parish around my magazine as I can, and support anybody that I can, franchise or not.
Wonderful.
Dave's Hot Chicken is a franchise, but every franchise has local owners.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, and people need to keep that in mind. Just because you're buying from a franchise, whatever it is, if it's a franchise business, it has local ownership. Unless it's like even McDonald's. McDonald's is a good example. They're not from Livingston Parish, but that family is right there in Baton Rouge that owns all those locations. Exactly. So it doesn't mean you're not supporting local because you buy from a franchise. And plus, you're keeping the money here and not shipping it off somewhere else, which is nice.
I'm going to give a little bit of intel about me. My first job was McDonald's, actually. I worked at the McDonald's on Florida, and whenever I was 16 years old, and I guess this is also like a good aspect of how I got where I am, I started a Facebook group. I was 16 years old. That Facebook group was called McDonald's Crew Member Memes. Yeah. And it now has 110,000 people in it. Just McDonald's workers that all related to each other on a certain level. And I started that by myself when I was 16 years old. I'm 21 now.
Yeah.
110,000 people in it. And it's still very, very active.
Right.
So that's kind of an intel that I don't really tell a lot of people. It's kind of embarrassing, honestly. Right. But it does kind of show, like, since I was a teenager, it is something that I've been passionate about. Just this, I would hate to call it content creating, because I don't see myself as a content creator, and I hate being centered. Yeah,
there's kind of I do too. I hate painting myself into a box, and content creators to me, are people that walk around and they're clipping out their life. There's a difference between that and reporting, for example, reporting on businesses, reporting on culture, reporting on restaurants. Those are to me, a content creator is a part-time. I'm just out there promoting myself.
Right.
It's a big difference.
What I'm doing is full-time. It takes up all of my time.
I get it. Trust me. If anybody gets it, Jim Chapman does, no doubt. Any final thoughts?
No, I think that's going to be it.
I want to shout out your website, so let's do that. Shout that out.
So my website is livinginparishmagazine.com, and it is completely free. All of my articles are free. It's free to look at anything, and all of my sections are on there. Anything that's going to be in my physical magazine will be on my website. And
no paywalls?
No paywalls.
Okay.
Everything with my magazine is completely free resources. We do sell advertising on our website, and it is our cheapest advertising at $200 for 3 whole months.
All right.
And so I definitely recommend that to anybody that's smaller. I'm trying to think of our numbers for that. I know in our first 30 days, it was 6,000 people on my website. I know just last week, our main advertiser, who is the Abbey Salon, she does my hair. She's amazing. Yeah. Small business. Her advertisement on the website got 100 clicks just last week. 100 people visiting her website off of mine.
Very good.
So I would definitely recommend, if you have a small business and you want to be able to contribute in some kind of way, just running it out on my website. It won't hurt.
Yeah, it certainly wouldn't hurt. And I'm going to link that website in the description of this podcast. So whether you're listening to it or watching the video version, it'll be linked there. So if you're driving down the road or something like that, no worries. When you get to where you're going, just look in the description. You'll see that. The actual physical launch, because I know people are going to want to hear this again. What day is that slated for?
So we are going to be doing a launch party on April 16th, and we are going to be distributing April 17th.
Okay, there you go. And look, those launch parties are a big deal. And when I think of that, look, I'm older than you are by just a couple of years. But when I think about that, I think about when John F. Kennedy Jr. launched George. That was a huge deal. And I remember seeing him pull they had a big superimposed cover, right? It was like 4 feet tall. It was on a big easel. and he was in New York, and he pulls that thing off, and it was Cindy Crawford, and she was dressed like George Washington. It was a great cover if you appreciate that sort of thing. And so who knows? We're going to make yours that big. How about that?
We'll expect that. Expect a 4-foot cover print, and we are going to be pulling that.
And we'll have Cindy
off.
Crawford on it,
Cindy
and sitting in front of the antique district.
Well, I am going to be honest. I will give a little intel on the cover. I know I said, but our issue is Mud Bugs and Magnolias, and the feature business for the cover is Pinch and Peel Crawfish. So
there you go.
I guess it's not going to be Cindy Crawford, but it'll be Casey Petitjean.
There you go. We'll take it. And look, you can't beat the timing on that. It is crawfish season.
Oh, yeah.
There's no doubt about it. So thank you for coming on. Shout out to your mother, who put a lot of belief in her daughter there.
Oh, yeah.
And not only that, but also, look, as a parent, I can tell you, it's not easy to kind of let go of a little bit of control, especially to your own child, and have that trust. So shout out to her for having that trust in you to know you can handle your side of that business.
Oh, yeah.
So very good. Thank you so much for coming on. Folks, check it out. Any questions, you can go to that website. You can hit the contact us form and ask whatever you'd like to ask. We appreciate you listening. Thank you so much. And until next time, I'm Jim Chapman to remind you, love your community, support local business, and keep leading. Thank you very much.